Rubbish. And with me, you are going to do what you're supposed to do. If you don't, you go home. Because we didn't hire you for excuses. Was it there when you were applying for the job? You applied for a job, do it. Do the job, do it to your best, to our satisfaction, then you have no problem with me. I had people saying you are breaking people's houses. Only fish, frogs, crocodiles, and is what? Otter. And otters have a license by nature to live in wetlands. If you are none of these, what are you doing in the wetland? Just get out before God gets the news. If you get out, I'll have no problem with you, you'll have no problem with me. Wetlands are for those reptiles, and dry land is for human beings. That's why when we find snakes here, we beat them. When we find them in their habitat, they also bite us. So why don't we follow the laws of nature? Please make sure, continue with that work. That was good work. I'm not going to stop you. Make sure everybody who has no license to be in a wetland gets out of the wetland. You know, when I was here last time, we were collecting pumping water from Gaba. And the cost of treating water was easy, was light. Now I'm told we are collecting it from Katosi. When you hear we are collecting water from Katosi, it means two things. That the water has now become expensive because it has a long way to travel. That pipe is not a little line, my friend. We need energy to push that water from Katosi up to Kampala. Why? Because we have deliberately or inadvertently polluted this whole piece of the lake. And we go and fish in this piece of the lake and eat the poison we have thrown into the lake. If we want to kill ourselves, it's okay. But why are we killing our children and grandchildren? Why are those of us who are polluting the lake, selfishly poisoning the rest of the population? So that's not acceptable. Nobody has a license, nobody has a right to pollute the lake. The lake was, the wetlands were filtering the water that goes into the lake. Filtering the water that goes into the lake. And the wetlands were put there by nature for this purpose, for filtering the water that goes into the lake. We've decided to interfere with the wetlands, therefore exposing the population to poison. No, that's unacceptable, not under my watch. You have my full support. Go on, break the houses. Go ahead, break the house, you have my full support. Yes, break them. Because by the time I beat into the wetland, didn't I know it was a wetland? If I took the risk of building in a wetland, I should also bear the burden of losing the property. I have no excuse. No, we must restore the wetlands to protect our people today and the generations of tomorrow and after tomorrow. The forest. Look at, for instance, Mbarara. Just before Goma. When I was young, we used to swim in the Ruizi. There was a big river called Ruizi. That's where Mbarara city used to get its water from. The other day, I was passing there, and I thought they had shifted the river. I was wondering whether these sailors of Uganda had sold the river also. The river is now history. Why? Because the water catchments have been tampered with. And we are here putting up finger, glorifying ourselves as advanced. Excuse me, there is no advancement in destruction. That's not a necessary contradiction, because movement is contradiction. When you put a grip on the earth, then the friction causes forward movement. But this is the degradation. So the Ruizi must be restored. You either restore the Ruizi or you go home. In the shortest possible time. I don't want to go there and people start saying, Minister, there is no water. No. Akakwasa, you must make sure there is water. Dr. Budish, you are called National Water and Sewage Operation. This business of opening my taps in the morning and there is no water, we are going to have issues. You know, there is engineer retired. I call him every day. One engineer retired. There is a desert. Desert has climbed Corona. That has to stop. Let's work together to ensure. I know your problems. I know your problems and I sympathize. These people who don't pay, these government departments which don't pay, if you don't pay, you don't eat. This business of going to restaurants and eating for free, no. Everybody must pay. When I don't pay tax, don't I get arrested? So police, you tell your bosses you must pay. Prisons, you must, I know. Police, prisons. There are some other places I don't want to mention. who don't pay. Everybody should pay to make politicians work easy. Let's facilitate him so that he becomes accountable. You come and tell Mugisha, we want water, but then you don't pay. What is he going to use to treat that water? Will he spit in the water? Or will he, like Jesus, say, I want this water, holy water, and it becomes holy water like the one of this friend of mine, Buragu. That water you buy for 50,000 shillings is E. coli. That's sewage from Morago, and you go and pay, and you hope to go, wapi. You know, I heard somebody praying and saying that, me, I'm not, Cheptoris was saying, me, I'm not very prayerful, because I know God knows what I want, He knows. They say God knows everything. So He knows what I want, He knows what I don't want. Why should I waste His precious time and mine telling you what He already knows? Then there are these Catholics pray. There is a prayer among the Catholics. They say, God, remember those who died. Then I say, these fellows, they are going to get a problem. Does God forget? you are choosing God or forgetting. I say, God, we are not among them. So this business, do your work. Do what you are supposed to do. And do it to the best of your ability. If there is a problem, look for your supervisor. If the supervisor cannot sort out the problem, look for the next in line. When the worst comes to me. When I can't find a problem, I also go to cabinet and then we shall go to parliament and we own the problem jointly as the Ugandan community. Don't suffer with the problem alone. Because some of you want to do things on your own. When you have no solutions, when you can't make the necessary decisions, and you suffer silently, and people develop blood pressure, and then when you die, do you know what the government buys you? A coffin and transport. And as soon as you die, we will replace you. We don't wait. So you're just so don't make this thing kill you. Don't get blood pressure and hypertension because of the problem you have. Share it with others. Two, like Sam Cheptori said, learn to be free. Live and let live. You are here. Your presence here in the ministry is an infinitesimal pause in eternity. It's just a pause. Infinitesimal, very, very, very small. The ministry was here before you, it's here with you, it will be here long after you are gone. Don't make the ministry yours. I was here 20 years ago. Most of you were not, some of you were not born. Or if you were born, you didn't know how to make teeth. And some of you were still in your pampers. And I am back, and I'm glad I'm back. Those of you who don't know, I'm the one who started the program of bulk water transfer. I'm the one who started it. When I say, bulk water transfer, I look at them and say, what I want to do? Do these fellows know what we are talking about? They just came and bastardized it. I hear there is a fight between Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Water and Environment over water irrigation. Listen, the one who buys meat from the market is not the one who cooks. The one who cooks is not the one who goes to the market. Bulk water is the responsibility of Ministry of Water and Environment. Irrigation, farm irrigation is the responsibility of Ministry of Agriculture. You people, do you know how to irrigate cassava and potatoes and beans and I don't know what? Sim, no. Give them water, let them spread it. They know how much, you know how much to put on bananas, how much to put on. Otherwise, you are going to flood the gardens and cause famine. Lift the water, put it on a high mountain, then tell agriculture to spread it throughout Karamoj. It's a shame that 60 years after independence, Karamajong still wander around looking for water. It's a shame. Honorable Minister of Water, when the Karamajong have, it's a shame that we still have starvation in Uganda. It's a shame. When the Israelis and the Arabs who live in the desert where there is no water feed themselves, and here in Uganda we are starving. Rubbish.